Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Welcome as always. If you've never been here before, my name is Heather Spears and I absolutely adore fashion. So a big fashion statement hit. It was a big statement hit, and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion released their new WAP music video. So this video is something else, and I was just absolutely so inspired by the fashion of this video. I think it was super well put together. So in this video today, I'm doing a DIY version of Kylie Jenner's piece from that video. So let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to say I am a super big fan of Cardi B. I mean, she is just herself. She just puts herself out there on a different level, and I just appreciate that so much from her. And I also did want to add that I'm also a fan of Rey Ortiz. And this is the fashion designer that designed Kylie Jenner's look for this music video. So I followed him for a while, and I always appreciate his stuff. It's always so fabulous. It is out of this world good. It is so camp, and it's just inspiring to say the least. So when I saw that he did Kylie Jenner's look for the WAP music video, I was like, I want it. I gotta have that. I would feel so cool wearing something like that. And yeah, so I thought I would try to give my hand at trying to make something like it and reminiscent of that, because I do respect him a lot and I love myself some Cardi B. Who doesn't? So I thought it would be a fun place to start, and that is where this came from. Okay, so I got my hair up and I've got my glasses on and I am ready. I'm like work ready. This is what I usually look like when I'm sewing. But anyway, so I'm going to be cheating on the bodysuit just a little bit. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm using some high-waisted bikini bottoms and a tank top to get the right pattern look for these pieces. So we'll see how that goes. So first I placed my bikini bottoms out on my fabric and marked and cut them. And I needed to cut a new design for the front of the bodysuit, so I folded my bikini in half again and cut the design for the front instead of having two back pieces. Next it's time for the neck, so I measured the neck of my mannequin both length and width. Then I cut and sewed the pieces together. Then I grabbed my tank top and used that as the pattern for the back of the bodysuit. So far we should have the bottom of the bodysuit done, the neck, and the back. To get the right shape for the front of the bodysuit, I am just going to be measuring my mannequin and just kind of eyeballing it. So I'm going to be cutting out pieces and making them work on my mannequin. Then I measured the front of my mannequin just to get the right idea for what the top should be. I cut out the fabric, measured again, measured and cut again, and finally got the two front pieces made for the end of the bodysuit. Then it was just time to kind of sew it all together and finish the edges. And here she is. So at this point I have my bodysuit all the way done. I've got the neck piece on, I've got the front done, I've got the bottom done. This thing is ready to go. So next I'm going to tackle doing the gloves, which I've never done gloves before, so let's see how this one goes. The way I did this was super simple. Since I didn't have any glove patterns and I never did this before, I just looked at a pair of gloves that I had, and I noticed that, the fingers are separated and that the thumb actually isn't sewn, onto the glove like if you were to lay your hand flat. So I made separate thumb pieces. All I did is I laid a glove out and I kind of traced around that and marked where the length of my fingers, because my gloves are actually fingerless gloves, and then cut the shapes out and just sewed around the edges. Then I tried the glove on, saw where my thumb should go, and cut a little hole there where I put the thumb pieces in. Okay guys, so the gloves are done and she has one on and I have the other because I just wanted to try this on for you. I just tried it on And I didn't think for a second that this was going to work the way that I did this, tracing the hand and using the glove as a little guide. But it worked, and like, this is now my favorite part of the whole outfit. This thing is so freaking cool. I've never worn gloves like this before, so I'm like super into it. But yeah, I love this piece. So from here, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to make the corset. Now making the corset, I don't have a corset that I was going to use as a pattern. I don't own a corset, and yeah, so I'm going to have to draft a pattern for that. But the fabric that I'm using, like I said, is super stretchy, so it's not going to really function like a corset. Corsets like cinch you in. This is not going to do that for this particular case. So the stretchy fabric's going to make it a little bit, you know, more forgiving. Like if I cut it a little small or something, it will stretch over. So I'm going to get started on this part, and then after that, it's the boots and we're finished. In order to draft a pattern, first I cover my mannequin in a muslin fabric, and then I just use a marker or a pin to kind of draw on the shape that I want the final piece to look like, and then just cut it out. Then I'm going to continue to do this over and over again until I have enough pattern pieces for what I want to make. So by now I have half of the corset pattern drafted. On a normal occurrence, I would do the other half. I would sew it all together and I would make sure it fits, then I would seam rip it, and then I would put it on paper and make an official pattern out of it. For this case, I'm actually going to just straight up use this first pattern draft as base, because I'm trying to do this quickly, and this is kind of just, you know, the DIY thing. So I'm going to be using these as my pattern pieces for my actual fabric, and I'm going to be lining it in black. Since I am using the actual draft as my pattern pieces, I just lay them out on the fabric and cut the pieces out. I do that for both the outside fabric and the liner fabric. Then I separate out the pieces and pin them how they should go. Sew them all together. Then all I did was finish the edges and add some eyelets so that I could tie it in the back. Okay, and with that, the corset is done. It's all wrapped around, and I actually did it off camera, but you can see from the back here, I laced it up with an extra strap that I had, so it's just all laced on there, no pins. It is all the way finished. So I'm so excited. I was the most excited to try this next part because I've only done it a few times, but I'm going to be making some boots out of these old heels. So I thought they're the perfect shape for what Kylie Jenner actually wear in the music video. And the only thing is she wore, you know, over-the-knee boots, and so I'm going to be turning these heels into some over-the-knee boots to go along with the rest of the outfit. Now, I do have a full tutorial on how you can make your own pair of over-the-knee boots if you want to, that I will link in the description box below if you are interested. So, the way that I did this was I used an old shoe that I was not going to wear, and I traced around it on the same fabric as the rest of the look and used that as what I was going to cover my shoe with. So I sewed it together after I traced it, and that was going to be my base shoe. Now to get the part that goes over your knee, I used an old pair of pants as a pattern and cut around it to make kind of like the tube part that goes over your leg. I don't know what you'd call it. So the boots end up being kind of like 4 pieces, but in the end, after you sew it all together, just 2 pieces. A piece for the base of the shoe and then a piece for your leg. Next, I took it into the garage and I hot glued the base shoe piece onto the shoe itself. And then I glued the top that goes over my knee onto the shoe also. I wasn't happy with the way that the ends of my shoe looked, so I actually ended up painting and gluing on some really pretty little sequins onto the sides to finish the edges and a little bit more of a professional look. I know it's hot glue, it's not going to look professional regardless, but I thought this gave it just a little bit more of a finished touch. Then I actually painted the bottom of the shoe to call it finished. I can't believe I almost forgot the cape. So I don't have leopard print fabric for what I needed for the cape, so I used just a regular sheer black fabric because I thought it matched well. So the way I did this was I simply pinned it onto my mannequin, rolled it out, and cut it to the length that I wanted to, And then after I got the right shape, I really just finished the edges and then hand sewed on some snaps so that the cape is removable. So I can't believe it, guys. It's time to get ready for the shoot. So I did my hair, I did my makeup, but it just wouldn't be a finished DIY Kylie Jenner WAP video without trying it on and showing you guys the finished product. Now this whole shoot was done on a white sheet in my garage, so keep that in mind, but it was still super fun and I am so glad that I did it. Okay guys, so that is it. That is my take on Kylie Jenner's look, my DIY Kylie Jenner WAP look. So I hope you enjoyed. When I make something like this, I never quite know what to do after. I love wearing it, I love doing the shoot, and a lot of times I donate or do stuff like that. And I was just thinking, on my channel I've done quite a few giveaways at this point, and some of them have done really well and some of them haven't really kicked off. So I want to give this look away, but only if you guys want the look. So the way I'm gonna do this is, if this video gets up to 50 likes, I'm gonna give this piece away. And if you want to win it, you leave a comment in the box below to let me know, like, hey, yeah, this is something that I should continue to bring to my channel. So I just kind of want to get a feel and see where you guys are at with that. But regardless of anything, thank you guys so much for joining me, and as always, I appreciate your time and everything. So if you enjoyed the video, please remember to give me a thumbs up so that I know, and if you want to see more fashion content, or if I do decide to give this away, then stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, and you're always welcome to join me. Until next time, guys, bye! Real time.